Welcome to the TulipDAO. We are here for our 19th Investors AMA or 20th Investors AMA. I can never remember. I am an airhead, but I am here and I am trading tulips. Here to bring you the alpha regarding Stone Gods NFT collection and their upcoming seniorage project entitled Liquid ETH on the Fantom chain. It will be pegged to ETH instead of being pegged to the native gas token, which is what we usually see. They have some great organizational and marketing skills that we've been seeing. We really like the aesthetics. We really like what we've been seeing with the NFT collection. So we are excited to hear about what they have going on behind the scenes and what they have coming up in the future. We are joined by SG Nat, SG Sam, and Liquid Poppy. Could you guys do me a favor? Introduce yourselves, your roles, and what you do for the team. And start there.
Thank you very much, Tulip. That was a fantastic intro, and that really nailed what we're all about. My name is SG Sam, formerly known as NSP Sam. I was the creator of Neon Shadowpunks along with Nat, and now this, we're talking about our new collection, Stone Gods. Extremely excited. I'll give a summary in a bit of what the collection is, but just to introduce myself, I've been working deep in crypto probably for the last year, but I've been around for about 10 years since Bitcoin was worth very little. Could have bought some pizza back in the day with it. But now I'm here very happily on the FTM network, total FTM maxi over here. And I'm very happy to be working with the Liquid ETH team, whose goal is basically, just to summarize it, we're trying to create a platform that can help migrate ETH users to Fantom, because I think that's quite lacking in the scene right now on Fantom, especially because we want to unlock Fantom's full potential and we think we've got a long road ahead. But I digress. More on that later. I'd like to introduce SG Nat. Nat is the artist behind Neon Shadowpunks and Stone Gods. He's absolutely incredible. If you want to talk a bit about yourself, mate. Also, your mic is muted, so you know.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Nat. Sam covered a good portion of kind of what we're doing, where we've been with the Fantom journey so far. We're really excited to be doing these two projects, Stone Gods and Liquid ETH, kind of tie them together. And then, like Sam said, I'm the artist behind the collection, as well as getting to flex my design muscles and do some more graphic design stuff for the branding for Liquid ETH, and just doing, just providing a little visual identity for both projects. And we did the Neon Shadowpunks together, Sam and I. Moving forward, we're doing us two with just a larger team around us to try and bring some more eyes on the projects, and be able to do a little bit more than we did with Neon Shadowpunks and just keep building everything up. And then I guess next up to introduce themselves is old Poppy. If you want to take it away.
Hey guys, this is Liquid Poppy from the Liquid ETH team. Of course, as you all suspected, that is my birth name. I'm super excited to be here and be working with the Stone Gods guys. We have 6 devs on our team, including both Sam and Nat. Sam is serving kind of a similar community management role that he serves for Stone Gods and for NSPs. So we're really happy to have his experience on board, as well as Nat's incredible design experience. For me personally, I do a bit of everything for the Liquid ETH team. My main role is as one of the economic leads, but obviously I'm active in our Discord community. It's a real team effort, and I'm super excited to have 6 devs on board who are all extremely capable, extremely intelligent people who kind of work well together and have a really strong long-term vision for our project. So, I couldn't be more excited for the on-ramp into Genesis launch and hopefully a really successful project.
6 devs?
6 of us, that's right.
God damn. That's a lot of devs.
Well, Nat really does all the heavy lifting. We're all kind of here to write his coattails, but
that's all for Liquid ETH. They're just kind of, you guys are like doing.
Yeah, so there's some members of the team that don't overlap. So Liquid ETH, it's me, Nat, Poppy, as well as Hedge Liquid, and K. But those three guys are not members of our Stone God. It's a bit confusing. We also have Crypto Tester, who's the dev for Stone Gods, and Wolf, who's like the community moderator as well.
Okay.
So it's not like a full-on like overlap between the two. It's just the only ones that overlap with both projects are me and Nat, basically.
So maybe not like advanced DeFi developers, but NFT devs who can launch NFT projects and do those types of contracts.
Yeah, the lead dev of our project, Liquid, he's launched a token on ETH mainnet and he runs an FTM validator node. So he's got the main experience, and he's definitely like taking the lead on that.
Cool. Yeah, I assumed you had like one or two guys who specialize in DeFi stuff.
Yeah, he's very legit. We kind of ride his coattails, honestly.
It's good. You guys need to have a strong, leader in all regards, or should say all departments, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a very balanced team, actually. I've noticed it's really good. We all have different strengths, and we kind of play on that. It's really exciting. I would not have chosen to work with these guys if I didn't fully believe in their vision, because you hear of tomb forks happening and like most of them fail, and it's like when they came to me with this, I read their ideas. I was like, this is it. This is the one. Yeah.
Excellent. Cool, man. Yeah, sometimes it just makes sense, and you're in the right moment, you're in the right place, right time type situation.
Right place, right time, man. That's what it was.
Just random occurrence. I'm sure a lot of people in TulipDAO who are now on my team kind of feel the same way. It's just like we don't know how we ended up here, but we're all very thankful. So very cool. Okay, cool. So if you could, let's review Stone Gods and let's review the plan for anything extra, please. If you could let us know, like, why is this more than just a basic NFT collection? How will it tie into the Liquid ETH project?
Absolutely. So first things first, I'm going to put two pictures into the AMA chat. One of the animated gods and just a rolling GIF of some of the static gods. So just to give you an overview of the collection, we have 2,222 NFTs exclusively for the Fantom Network. And the collection boasts over 150 plus assets. I think the current figure, it's subject to change, is 184, but it's going to go up and down depending on what we choose to delete or not. There are also 25 uniques and 25 animated pieces, and we mint in mid-May. So the goal, someone's asked this already, but the goal is to be a mainstay of the Fantom NFT community, straight up, one of the top collections. And we're going to do this by coupling unique artistic vision with utility, really strong utility, via Liquid ETH tomb fork that is launching in May. So besides that, we have a secondary collection. And I know probably most of the questions about the collection are going to come about this secondary collection. And the secondary collection is called Demigods. And it's going to play a very important role in our collection because it's going to be stakeable in the Genesis pools of Liquid ETH. So again, more on that later. But basically, the main collection as well, Stone Gods, will also have utility on Liquid ETH after the conclusion of the Genesis pools. So we have a unique thing where we have a collection with two separate collections, each one of which has separate utility on one platform. We have incredible art designed by Nat. And I think with that and, a strongly led community, which I feel like everyone in our community is already really close, I feel like with that, we have what it takes to become truly a top level NFT collection on Fantom.
Did you say gen pools?
We did say gen pools.
Staking for gen pool rewards?
It's staking for the initial a percentage of the initial emissions during the gen pools. Yes.
Right. Amazing. So, okay. Have you done the numbers? What's the breakdown going to be on the emissions?
We're about a month away from release, and we'll be announcing those closer to launch. Sure.
All right. Fine.
Sorry, I can't give it all away now, mate.
Well, I just want to know, how many of these things I should be buying.
Indeed. It's a very good question.
All right. I think everybody wants to know. how much of the emissions will be allocated to the NFT pool, but we'll wait. We will wait. Okay.
Yeah, all in due time, guys. All in due time.
Were you you were done with that section, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great, man.
Thanks, man.
Love it. Demigods, if you could, can you touch on the demigods just a little bit?
So, to get a demigod, you need to mint 3 stone gods, and then you will be airdropped a demigod once you have done that. We wanted to incorporate that into the NFT contract, but our dev said it posed some slight security issues. It was a bit complicated, so we're going to airdrop them manually. We're probably going to mint them ourselves and airdrop them to everyone. And the way we're doing it is basically we're going to have a certain supply of demigods, and the ones that aren't airdropped, because let's say only 256 people mint 3 stone gods, so we're going to airdrop 256 demigods. The remainder of them will be raffled and given to the whitelist members, basically whitelisted members of the collection. On top of that is where it gets a bit more complex. We have our Neon Shadowpunks, right? And the way we've done it is if you hold a Neon Shadowpunk, you get airdropped 1-to-1 a stone god. So if you hold 3 Neon Shadowpunks, you get airdropped 3 stone gods and a demigod. But because of security problems with contracts, again, if you have 2 Neon Shadowpunks, you still need to mint 3 stone gods to get a demigod. Sorry, if you guys want me to repeat that, I can. I know it's a bit.
Yeah, it is. I did get confused. If you could, one more time.
I'm sorry. So
don't apologize.
If you have 3 Neon Shadowpunks, you will be airdropped 3 stone gods and a demigod. That makes sense, right?
Yeah. You know how much regret I'm having right now?
I know. I'm sorry, mate. I
didn't buy Shadowpunk. I was going to buy Neon Shadowpunks, and I was like on an NFT hype that week, and I had just spent too much money on NFTs. And my God, I saw them under when they launched, bro. What was the price? It was under 20 Fantom, wasn't
25.
it?
I think it was 20 or 25 Fantom at the beginning.
Yeah, I was ready to drop a lot on them too, and I for some reason I just did it, and then the next thing I saw they were at 80 or 100 Phantom. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, now they're.
I have an interesting question to.
I have a sound for that here. Hang on. Yeah, maybe it did. What's up, bud?
I have an interesting question to win a whitelist, for the best question.
Oh my
God. After you airdrop the stone gods and the demigods, aren't you scared the price of the neon punks will dump? Because that's something you see a lot in NFT space, right? They get
I mean, it can happen. It can happen, and there's not much we can do about that. It's the thing is, the price of NFTs is a roller coaster, right? I mean, I wish PaintSwap had a graph that tracked the floor price and its movements, because ours have been so insane. I saw it go from 25 to 100 to 50 to 200, back down to 100 to 300, and back down to 80, and now it's at 200 again. I mean, that's like a crazy token, It's a really insane fluctuations, and I've kind of let go of the idea that there's a way to really control it, especially after you do something like airdrops, and after they're done, it might dump, it might not. People, you never know. People might have more interest in that collection after Stone Gods, since we're being so open, so public about the fact that we're the Neon Shadowpunk founders, So maybe it'll create a resurgence in Neon Shadowpunk sales, and more will sell.
Okay. Maybe buy some back with the minting you get from the stone gods, but that's just an idea. You don't have to do that.
It's not a bad idea.
If the price drops, maybe,
Yeah.
Have some insurance for the people buying now.
Sacrifice.
Probably.
I think they know, though. They know. People understand that that's how it works. I mean, it's like controlling. It's like telling people not to ape in when the prices are flying. You can tell them, but they're still going to do it. Right now, people are going into Fantom because they see it pumping up. It's normal.
Did you announce the mint price?
Not yet. So we're kind of looking at current market conditions to figure that out. We can give a general estimate. Most collections I think with this scope, utility, and number of assets, usually mint for between 30 to 100 Phantom. But somewhere in that range. It depends on a lot of things, honestly. It depends on like we don't want to decide yet because we're still a month away. And who knows where the market's going to be in a month. We'll try and predict it, but that's like who would have predicted we would have a 5% pump today in the market? Crazy.
We could have.
Nah.
We did.
Tulip, the oracle of Phantom.
But we can talk about that later. So, okay, cool. I would say between 40 and 75 Phantom would be appropriate, depending on the weight of those emissions. With a 2.2K collection, that sounds about right. Yeah. I would, especially with utility like that. That would be my recommendation. And then let's see here. Let's take a community question. Cam is asking, are you trying to attract Tomb users that are already familiar with Senior Edge projects, or do you have future plans to partner with Tomb, or why did you choose Tomb for the gen pool?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes. It was just a question about why Tomb is in the Genesis pool. Are you trying to attract Tomb users? I'm pretty sure that's the reason.
Yeah, we're trying to attract Tomb users. I mean, it's a Tomb fork,
Yeah,
you kind of need how do you can answer that?
Oh, so it definitely makes sense to keep Tomb in the gen pool. I mean, it's also the biggest DeFi project on Phantom, so people hold it. People are familiar with it.
There seems to be an interest in a one-of-one animated TulipDAO Stone God. What if we did an auction?
I see you, Will. That's a question for Nat. We have actually just planned out. We're having to do basically kind of like a calendar because we have so much work to do. And we have to make 25 one-on-ones, and one of them took Nat like 8 hours, and we only have like about a month left to finish it. I really dig your guys' project, so I will get back to you on that for sure.
Let me give you an idea. Come back for the launch party. Do the auction for the one-of-one TulipDAO Stone God here during the launch party, and I bet you he'll get that 8 hours worth of money. You know what I'm saying? Back.
Yeah. That's a good point. I like that idea.
I think it would do pretty well. You should give the animated ones, the legendaries, increased staking weight, so whoever buys that thing at that inflated price would get some added utility out of it. Maybe.
I've had this idea, and I'm going to talk to the dev about it and see if it's feasible.
Yeah, I know it's possible. I was talking to my devs about doing it because I'm going to be doing a staking collection.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Whenever I hear an idea like that, I always get worried about security risks.
Well, you just create two pools. It's the same thing. Two pools for, you just add an attribute in the NFTs on the legendaries for, basically if it's eligible for the pool or not, so you can determine which one should go where,
That makes sense.
So
anyway, one-on-one for Slurp too.
Well, no, the thing is, to answer that, the demigods, none of them are going to be legendary. They're all going to be the same, like, rarity weight. That's a secondary collection. It's the primary collection that's going to have the super rare ones. And the utility for those is not going to be. Well, I can't say anything about the utility they're going to have, basically, but that's off. We're going to announce that a lot closer to launch.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not pressuring you. I just, in my mind,
it's a good point.
I want to give value to the rarity,
absolutely, yeah.
Increase utility for the rarity so that on the aftermarket it reflects, and it makes sense. It's like, why am I paying 3,000 Phantom to stake this thing that that I could buy for 50 or whatever? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, not a huge deal, but it's just an interesting thing. Let's see.
I like Poor Source's question about well, there's a lot to unpack here. So
yeah. I know. I'm trying to ease into that because it's deep. But yeah, all right. Let's get to Hot Sauce's questions.
Yeah. I like so. Poor Source asked, when do I get a spicy Stone God tribute piece? Just kidding. Well, sorry, mate. And then secondly, he asked, have you considered minting on ETH at all? I know they're listed as Fantom, but if you're trying to get people over, this is actually something we considered. It's just when I look at the Ethereum NFT space, it's a horror show. It's disgusting. It's just bots, hype trains. Fuck. It's literally awful place. And like whenever I see collections launching on there, I'm like, good luck, but I want nothing to do with you. Fantom is just like the community is well. I think Ethereum doesn't really have a community. I think it's just spread across all these like frat bros and like hype beasts, and there doesn't really seem to be like something like what we have in Fantom, where everyone's like super helpful, nice. You know, everyone's like kind of in it together. And like, I'm all about community, and so that's why we just decided we're not going to do that and just do everything on Fantom.
It's a lot larger ocean, and it seems like there's fewer like tight communities, and it's a lot less of that. Collaborations are much harder. It's like walking into some random business down the street and like trying to sell them something. You know what I mean? It's not the same.
That's a very good analogy. I really agree with that.
And when you come to Fantom, it's like a neighbor's door you go knock on, and they'll lend you sugar and shit. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's very different, and I'm starting to learn that. The more I'm engaging in cross-chain endeavors, in my own protocols and stuff, there's people who it's very clear they're not used to being engaged with the community or responding in Discord or getting a serious approachments from companies or protocols trying to do good things or decent things, because they just they don't even look at their messages from people unless they're like I had to get a hold of one of these dexes. I had to get a hold of the actual, like, it's like the equivalent of the Fantom Foundation, like the actual Metis team, core team. I had to have them create a group chat to discuss, to get a hold of this one dex, and it got me in touch with their founder. So that's like that. There's just some people who will not take things seriously if it's coming through a certain medium, unless it's coming from somebody they know, somebody they trust. And that's just it. I guess it's part of the game. Once you elevate to a certain level, that's what things turn into, I guess. But I'm all about grassroots stuff here. It's kind of what we do. We build from the ground up with organic base of community, and then you elevate up, and then your foundation is strong. And it's like a tree getting thick roots. I was just using this analogy on a call, but we're getting our roots spread throughout these various ecosystems, and influence is increasing and respect is increasing, and you focus on those things, and then let you grow up from the bottom instead of the other way, right? Coming in with all this TradFi fluffy marketing experience and corporate execs and fucking real world assets and all this shit, and they come in, they just fail because they have no connection to the crypto community, no idea about tokenomics, and you know what I mean? So it's like you have to have a balance. Sorry to go on a tangent, but I feel like it's relevant here. So
I think that was also very, very good analogies, and I totally agree with everything you're saying. It's all true. And just to bounce back to my previous point, Paul Source made a good point. There are some good communities on ETH that are super, super strong. I was generalizing. I've just seen so much negative shit there that it's left kind of a sour taste in my mouth. But yeah, of course there are some good communities on there, and there are some people on ETH who are like very serious, and I think they do Discords better than we do. Like they have, we try to model our Stone Gods Discord after an Ethereum Discord where you have loads of different channels for different things, and we've had some very active channels. Like we've got a sports channel that's very active, an anime channel that is popping off, like different languages that are doing really well. We have a Portuguese chat which we launched 2 days ago with like 400 messages in it. So I like some of the stuff they do a lot. But yeah, great question, Paul Source. And for the Liquid ETH half of your question, Harpy, do you want to take that away?
Yeah, sure. The question, just to make sure I'm answering the right question, the question is about kind of how to get users over from ETH to Fantom for Liquid ETH. Is that
Well, I have the questions here. I'll ask them for you here. It's pretty in depth. Hot Sauce is our resident hypercritical. Uh, he's a a Phantom chain like legend out here. So here we go. He's saying what's going to make this attractive to mainnet ETH users over any other Tomb fork? Could there be a bridging bonus for people who come over? What's the carrot? Is that your marketing plan? Even I think the first question is that's your plan, right? To try to onboard people from ETH and bring them.
That's definitely a big part of our plan. I mean, if you look on DeFi Llama, I'm constantly stalking DeFi Llama to see the trends within the DeFi world. And one thing you've been seeing over a year is, the concentration of DeFi has gone from 99% ETH to 90% ETH to now we're approaching kind of like half of DeFi is done on ETH. The other half is spread among Fantom and AVAX and the other all L1s. And that's the trend that we see coming with, ETH gas being kind of ridiculously high, Fantom having this amazing community. It's not really even competition at this point because there are just things that you can do on Fantom that you can't do on ETH. But of course, for the average user, ETH is a name brand. Millions, if not billions, of people across the world know what ETH and Ethereum are, whereas Fantom is a very niche community, and the other L1s are a pretty niche community. So the way we see it is, everybody knows what ETH is. Everybody knows what the Ethereum network is. And, we'd like to bring in those new DeFi users who may be getting their feet wet on the Fantom network, be getting their feet wet in DeFi, and kind of understand that ETH is a thing. They're familiar with the price. It's hovered around $3,000 for quite a bit of time. And, for people who are more novice users, they may see, oh, well, I can essentially get a single stake version of ETH and get a really, really high yield on that. That's something I've never heard of before. Let me dip my toes in this project. And by dipping your toes in that project, that means that you're coming over the Fantom network, you're experiencing DeFi, you're experiencing the Fantom community. And so we see ourselves as a bridge in that regard, in terms of an actual physical bridge of bridging your tokens over from the ETH network. We'd like to incorporate. We don't have plans. This is a specific part of the question. We don't have plans for any kind of bonus for anybody who bridges from ETH to Fantom, and that's just because it would be kind of impossible to track. We would love to have some kind of built-in bridge in our protocol, but obviously bridging is an extreme source of vulnerability for exploits. And so we're going to be super, super, super careful in terms of any, built-in features into the protocol. So the plan for now is likely just to probably point to the AnySwap bridge for folks who come over to the website. They're familiar with ETH and they want a bridge. But yeah, getting users over from ETH and just migrating users who are familiar with the ETH token into our ecosystem is a fundamental part of our plan.
Okay, that works.
That's a very good question, Paul. So I think I would give you the whitelist, but I think you already have one in our other Discord. So I'm gonna give
Hot Sauce don't need a whitelist, man.
Yeah, well, so Hot Sauce, I'm sorry, mate.
This guy brings the heat. He brings the heat every AMA. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so we're gonna finish off the rest of Sauce's questions here. Let's satiate his need to grill Tomb forks here. Which partnerships can you announce? What are you going to do, or what are you looking for when it comes to partners, and how do you benefit? How do both parties benefit from the situation?
In terms of partnerships, right now we're focused on Stone Gods. We're pretty familiar with Sam and Nat, and we understand that they're extremely capable and have a really bright future in the NFT space. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to start branching out within the NFT space because we think that that's a really solid world to be aligned with. There are so many people who are super dedicated to specific NFT projects, and we think that's really great onboarding for us. So we don't have any specific projects right now that we have on our radar, but we're super open to kind of Sam and Nat, who are the NFT experts in the team, guiding us in terms of who we can trust, who we think will bring over really nice usership to the protocol.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, we like our NFTs are basically a sort of entryway into Liquid ETH. So it's been really cool to see this happen. There's a lot of people that have joined our Discord, and then we've pointed them at our about section, and that links to Liquid ETH, and then they go to Liquid ETH and they become a part of that community as well. So and vice versa as well. You have people joining Liquid ETH, then coming to our community, and that kind of cross-pollination, I think, has been really beneficial for both of us. And I'm interested to see what happens with that. Honestly, it's just been, the connection has just been growing stronger and stronger, and as people get more and more familiar with it, like it's really cool to see that.
It's been really cool to see it, and I think for future partnerships, we're very big on taking it slow and not rushing things out, not rushing into anything. So I definitely foresee, if we go and partner with another collection, for example, really sinking our time into it and developing that connection. Because I think, if all of a sudden we said every NFT on Fantom can stake in Genesis, or whatever, you'd see a lot of people come and go, not really engaged. I'm definitely leaning more towards, very targeted, specific engagement rather than, rushing into anything specific.
Of course. Yeah, I think you're onto something there, especially with farming protocols, slow, steady growth of TVL and the ecosystem tends to be the most sustainable. If there was a way to put a governor, if you will, to throttle the growth of the protocol, people could achieve sustainability. I am very confident. But that's something to think about later. You guys got a full 30 days. Controlling the TVL growth. I'm just going to put that out there for you. Let's
trust me, that's on the radar. I mean, just the math of the economics in terms of our growth. We're very focused on slow and steady, right from the get go, and so we have that in mind for Genesis for initial TVL. Yeah.
I'm starting to see some more forks kind of mess around with these tokenomics right now, but there are a few starting to look towards, they do their launch without Genesis pools entirely. And they're starting with a very low amount of tokens at the start, so there's not anybody immediately able to dump. So these tokens are farmed very organically and distributed in that same sense. And a lot of these peg tokens are climbing super high and then having more of a gentle reset into things. But I'm wondering how a proper Genesis phase in the same type of distribution to be able to get back to an NFT collection such as this could use a same type of mentality to have a low amount of tokens at the start so nobody's incentivized to dump on each other.
Yeah, that is totally our mentality. I mean, we're sticking with the Genesis model because it's what Tomb did, it's what Base did, it's tried and true. And one of our big mottos for the dev team is, we have a lot of big ideas, but we want to be gradual about it, and we don't want to steer too far from the Tomb model because that's something that's proven to, work and be stable for going on a year now. Having said that, we're very keen to not growing too fast, not diluting the market with tokens and losing our peg anytime in the early stages of the protocol. So I think the best way to really do that is not to release too many tokens in Genesis, not to flood the market with tokens when there's not enough demand to meet that supply. So it's something we're super sensitive to for sure.
Very good. If I may, we have a couple more community questions, and then I'd want to have the panel, community, or I guess I should say my team, ask some more questions as well. So guys, get some questions ready. Think about what you would do when you're either buying the NFTs, or playing the Tomb Fork. We have a couple, we got a little segue section here. The original concept behind Seniorage projects was to provide liquidity and encourage more staking of the native gas token to secure the network. I don't think that was ever really the thing. I think it was just a big scam, to tell you the truth, dude. That's my opinion. You're not really deepening liquidity. I think there's something missing from that equation. But pegging to ETH doesn't seem to align with that rationale. Why choose to peg to a token that we don't really need staked and validators? I think that is kind of the point that I just made, but go ahead if you have an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, look, to Tomb's credit, they are sticking to that line. They're doing the whole L2 Tomb chain thing. So like,
but Tomb's a scam.
No comment there. But at least they're kind of sticking to that line that there's a need for an L2, given how much FTM is tied up in staking. I mean, look, for us, I think we see how huge the ETH token is. There are so many stable coins on the market. If you think about how many dollar pegged stable coins are on the Fantom network, you have DAY and you have DAI and you have CUSD and you have USDT, and it just goes on and on and on. And yet there isn't really an ETH pegged token. There isn't really a BTC pegged token, other than obviously the wrapped versions of those tokens. And so just having one alternative kind of immediately unlocks, for example, a liquidity pair between wrapped ETH and Liquid ETH, where you could kind of get yield on a token that people aren't really used to getting high yields on. So, we're not here to lie or make up use cases that don't exist. And so I think you're right. Like, we're not going to pretend that there is some need for liquidity when there's not. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other really good use cases for an ETH peg token, especially when the ETH market cap is quite literally 100x the market cap of FTM.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I do agree. I think that's a good answer. There isn't much else to be said there. I mean, I don't really agree with the whole marketing sham. We're deepening. It was all marketing to me, but
yeah,
that's a separate conversation. I'm a hypercritical guy. All right. Some Fantom Seniorage projects have really strived to add utility to the peg token in an attempt to keep the price action stable. What types of other plans? This will be the last Liquid ETH question. What type of plans do you guys have to create, external utility through partner farms, or maybe gamification? What type of other things have you guys been talking about? Is there anything you can share? I know you're still quite a ways out.
Yeah, I mean, there are things that are on kind of our internal roadmap, so I don't want to promise anything that we end up scrapping or don't, decide isn't a great idea. But I think with any Tomb Fork specifically, there's kind of a very nice, and staying on the theme of steady, stable growth. There are the immediate things like getting partnered with auto compounders so that people kind of stake and stay engaged and enter slowly and stably. I think one thing that Tomb itself actually hasn't really done is leverage the bribing and incentivize liquidity on platforms like Beethoven and Spirit. Ooh, which that's a world that's rapidly developing, and there are people far smarter than I am who are innovating like crazy, and so that's something we'd really love to get involved in down the line, especially if you think about the balancer model that Beethoven uses. They have 80-20 pools, and when your whole protocol is designed to drive buy pressure to your token, having an 80-20 pool where 80% of the pool goes towards your native token and 20% goes towards the peg obviously does a tremendous amount for buy pressure. So, obviously I can't promise anything. And, the initial thing is have a successful genesis, stabilize, look to auto compounders, lending platforms, kind of the standard suite for growth. But I think there's so much untapped potential when you think about different liquidity pools. If we're an ETH peg, maybe down the line something that could be multi-chain. There's so many endless possibilities, especially given that we're ETH focused rather than Fantom focused, or even like a Tomb peg coin like based. I think that opens up so many avenues. So again, no promises, but we are thinking way ahead on those kinds of things.
Excellent. All right. Well, I know we've covered majority of the core mechanics. Is there anybody on the team who has any questions that want to be or need to be answered? Dubwise, Void.
I think there's going to be something especially to, if you could find a easy way to incentivize traffic from ETH and be able to reward that. I think there's definitely something to that, especially if you could do a way to compound that with some way to bolster your treasury in the same sense. Do you have any plans to acquire wrapped Ethereum in your treasury on Fantom?
Yeah, well, I mean that's one of the staking pools. That's like the main staking pool that we're going to advertise. I mean that's
Right.
really kind of the investment call to action, right? Is hey, enter this pool that's wrapped ETH and Liquid ETH, and you're getting insane yield on essentially a single stake ETH, assuming we can maintain a
Thinking
peg.
maybe something like a vested bond for specifically that in different market conditions of your peg for the treasury, and then be able to collateralize your peg with real Ethereum to even any amount. And that I just think that would create some more foundation, that would create such a huge narrative to be able to market to other ETH users.
Yeah, and I think just in general, the concept of collateralization within at least some, it would likely be under collateralization, but to have some sort of collateralization within an algo stablecoin kind of all of a sudden shifts the narrative to like, this isn't just a completely fake peg based on
Right.
pressure. There's something behind it. And so, that's something that we're thinking about behind the scenes. At the same time,
It's a lot for sure.
Yeah, the two model has worked. We need to get to Genesis, and so we're super slow on all of that stuff purposely.
But if you were able to make it ETH validator through the treasury and work to the network more, and then be able to offer something more of a basis for your peg users on a real Ethereum basis as well.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Or a Fantom validator, or now obviously with Stater,
Correct.
There's liquid staking coming to Fantom as well, which could give you kind of yield, safe yield on stake Fantom. So there's a million possibilities. But we got to have that successful Genesis, keep users onboarding, and then we can kind of get to the fun stuff, which hopefully will come, a few months after launch.
Good stuff.
Sounds good.
Good stuff. Let me close out the AMA, and then we will do a couple giveaways here. This has been an Investors AMA with Liquid ETH and the Stone Gods team. We are very excited for the launch. On what day is the launch, Sam?
Mid-May currently. Around.
All right.
Yeah.
Still tentative mid-May on the NFT collection, but we are still excited and we're looking forward to having you guys for a launch party. Thank you for stopping by. This is the TulipDAO, your one-stop shop for multi-chain alpha and investment advice and anything in between. Now providing deep dives, KYCs, and audits. Please contact us today and we will take your protocol to the next level.
Thank you so much for having us, guys.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.